Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, or whatever you happen to. Happy Monday, or whatever day you happen to be watching this. Hope you are having a beautiful day. Okay. So, I thought today we could talk a little bit about protecting our energy. It just seems like with everything going on that seems to be a thing that is needed. Okay. Yeah, we have so much going on energetically, whether it's the Schumann's, which is the Earth's heartbeat, that has been really high. I know that here at the beginning of June, we have been having some solar storms. You know, if you were able to be lucky enough to see the northern lights yesterday, but that's from all of the solar energy that is coming our way. And then just the general, I've heard it called the dream of society. So that right now we kind of have that, either you believe the way I do or you're wrong, or there's just a lot of anger and things like that going on. So, whatever the case may be, let's work on protecting that energy. So, if you think about your aura, it's about arm's length. I know you can't see my arms, but it's about arm's length out. Okay, so typically, so that your aura goes all the way around you, your energy body. When we have people that are close to us, you know, they're in our energy bodies. And if they're having kind of a rough day, then some of that can wear off into your aura or your energy body and can affect you. Okay. You know, go driving down the road and somebody thinks you should have done something and they're honking at you or flipping you off or cussing you out or whatever. Some of that energy can get into your energy body. I always talk about how I go to a grocery store that people are like, you're too young to be in that grocery store. But there's something about the grocery store that if I don't bubble up, and we'll talk about bubbling up here in a moment, that I come home exhausted. And I don't know exactly what that is. All I know is I bubble up and I feel much better. So, there can be just lots of things. Being able to feel the just the vibration of different people. We have a lot of sadness or a lot of anger and those kinds of things that are going around, and we don't need to pick them up. Hello, Linda. And we don't need those in our energy bodies. So, the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to protecting our energies is the most important thing we can do is heal our triggers. And that's not always an easy process, I know that. So we'll talk about these other ways that you can help heal and protect yourself while you're still healing, because sometimes when we heal stuff we are even more vulnerable to energies. So it's really important for us to keep our energy body really protected and healthy. And so when we are walking through life and all of a sudden we have a story that's happening, those are our triggers. We need to look at those. And especially when we're so busy, like they're doing this to me or they're doing that to me. You know, good morning, Diane. That those are our triggers. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Or we just find that we're angry about whatever. or having a story that's popping up. So those stories, those hurts, those old things, because when we have those, we store them in our bodies someplace. And I know I've talked about this, but we store those, and then that makes those places more vulnerable to other people's stuff. And especially if somebody's having a trigger that is similar to your own trigger. Okay. But one of the best things I like to do is, again, that bubble. Okay, everybody's seen Wizard of Oz, or what's the new one? Wicked. And how Glenda has her pink bubble that she rides around in. So I just figure that is the easiest way to visualize that. And whether you want it pink or clear or a different color, by all means. It's your bubble, make it your own. I had a kiddo I was working with at one time who was having a really hard time focusing at school. And so we talked about putting a bubble up before he went to school. And all of a sudden he couldn't get his work done. And he was able to do those kinds of things. And the outside energies and other people's were not, I love that, were not affecting him or bothering him as much, so that he could focus on what he was doing. I know there's a whole big thing about returning energy to sender. You're more than welcome to do that. However, I found that I ended up playing racquetball or tennis with hitting that energy back and forth, and I don't know about you, I don't have enough time for that. So I imagine having protection, or and this could be part of the bubble too, is that if energy is coming at you, and whether it's somebody purposely throwing it at you, it's somebody on the road that's now got anger that they're throwing towards you, it just kind of bounces off, and may it be negated with love and light, return to love, and go back to Mother Earth, or the consciousness as love and light. Okay, so having that intention, grounding is a great way to help protect yourself. So whether you, and this will be part of our meditation here in a moment, that you are outside with your shoes off and on the ground in nature, or you just imagine those roots going down into the ground, or you can cover yourself up with dirt. I've heard people talk about covering them whole selves up. I get a little claustrophobic even in my meditation, so I just cover my legs. But whatever works for you. Making sure that you go through and cleanse, whether it's in the shower, we cleanse our physical body, but you can imagine that water coming in and clearing the energetic body as well. You can take Epsom salts baths or sea salt baths as a way to clear. You can burn sage. I've got, I always like to do the sandalwood, because it's one of my favorites, but it's also clearing and cleansing, and by smelling it, it improves my mood. And so when my mood is brighter, then my energy is bigger, and then that keeps things from coming in as well. And so energetic cleanses are really great to do too. Outside of my house, by my door, I have I call it an energetic car wash that I put up when my husband used to work at the hospital, and he would bring home those heavier energies. And so it's just like a car wash that I imagine all that heavy energy, or if there's anything else attached to him, or any of us really anymore, it would get cleared away. So that's just one way to energetic cleanse ourselves as well. Having crystals and other amulets that we may wear. So I've got my ghost beads on, and I love this little sunflower. I feel like it helps brighten me up, as well as the beads help. They're called ghost beads. Let's see, these are cedar seeds. Okay, so it's believed that they help repel and have amazing energy to them. I know when I take them off and put them on, I really can feel a difference. So I have those on all the time. And there's other talismans that you can wear as well. So I also have my tiger's eye heart. So tiger's eye is very grounding, and then I love the thought of having that love near my heart, expanding it out. What else? Oh, black tourmaline is a great one that also helps ground, and it helps clear, as well as obsidian. I love obsidian. And hematite, smoky quartz, all of those are good grounding and clearing. Also, selenite. Selenite's a great one to clear energies as well. Selenite and kyanite, those are our two favorite at home. Both of those are water soluble, so don't put them in water, they will melt. Let's see. Then we get into spiritual practices. And meditation is a great way to clear your energy and help reinforce your energetic boundaries. Okay, you can call in guides, ancestors, animals, any of your helping spirits. I have a team of angels that I like to work with, and so that helps clear energies as well. Okay, so those are just some ways. There's also a lot of other ways, of course. These are just a little bit. And find what works for you too. And maybe it's a group of things. Like I said, I have my heart and my beads on, and there's hematite on this necklace with the heart. So, and I make sure I clear them every day, every morning, just like I do everything else. I use Florida water, and I just rinse them off, and sometimes, believe me, I can really feel the heavy energies coming off of them as I'm clearing them. Again, just be mindful with, you really don't need to do that too much with selenite or kyanite because they are self-cleansing. So, but sometimes, you know, heavy energies are heavy energies. So, find what works for you, whether it is prayer. There are definitely plenty of mantras for protection, prayers for protection, spells, chants. It's all the same, so whatever works for you. I think it's Greg Braden, I think is his name. I've been listening to one of his books that has protection prayers in it. I can't think of the name. I've got a brand new book that's all about psychic protection. So there's a lot of different things out there that can help and give you ideas. And as I always say, you know, take what works for you and leave the rest behind if it doesn't. Okay, so with all that being said, let's take, if you're feeling heavy, and whether it's heaviness in the body, heaviness in your aura, noticing when we're tired. But the other day I'm going along and all of a sudden I was like, whoa, and I just had that drop in energy. I was like, I need to nap. But then I went through and I was like, I wiped the energies off. Is this mine? Is this not mine? And then kind of cleared everything energetically. I came into it and was like, all right, that came on too quick. And then also I went speaking of being tired, making sure you're getting plenty of sleep and eating properly. Because when we get in those, and drinking your water, Diane, when you start drinking, or when your body is run down, then that makes it easier, because then, everything's connected. I always talk about the connection of body, mind, spirit, or soul, because they are all connected. If our bodies are depleted and tired, then the rest of us kind of goes that way too. So make sure that you're taking care of your bodies as well. All right, so today let's blow in any of that heaviness that you're feeling, any tiredness. If you had any experiences on your commute to work or over the weekend, whether you were around toxic people or whatever, let's just blow all of that into the stick today, okay? So nice deep breath in, think about collecting all of that and blow it right into the stick. And again, breathing it in, scooping it all up and blowing it all out. And one more time, breathing it in and blowing it out. Okay. And we're going to put that in the fire. Allow the fire to transmute that, transform it, and then bring that energy of the fire back in. Okay. And yes, I think I hear somebody talking about essential oils. Essential oils are great for protection. I love patchouli is one of my favorites for that. I take that last little energy in because this is a short stick today. All right. And as well as lavender, I love a combination of sage and Palo Santo, and what's the other one? Cedarwood. That's a lovely one. Or the sandalwood with myrrh and frankincense is really great too. So find what works for you. All right, but for now, let's get comfortable. Okay. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in. Good. And giving yourself permission to turn off fight or flight. Set that intention of turning that off and turning on the rest and digest. Okay. Because when we're in that fight or flight, that's also running amok in our physical bodies, our spiritual bodies, our emotional bodies. Good. One more nice deep breath in. And as you do this, as you start going more within, just scan your body. Scan your body for any heaviness, whether you feel it, know it, see it. I already said feel it, right? Whether that's heavy, dark energy, an old story, old emotions. Good. Scanning your energetic body that's all around you. I always kind of think of the energetic body like the outside of the cells, right? Or the, not cells, sorry, science. Yeah, but how the atoms, they share energies and things. So if there's anybody sharing your energy, just send them out. Good. Wiping off any old heavy energies that you picked up from just walking through a store. Again, driving. I know that's a big trigger. But just allowing it to all just dissipate. Good. And then imagine beautiful roots coming out of the bottom of your feet and going into Mother Earth, grounding you, connecting you. You can imagine trees all around, maybe birds. There could be a waterfall or moving water around you. It could be day, it could be night. What works best for you? Let's do a little visualization. And I like to use this as a cleansing technique. So as you breathe in, imagine, visualize breathing the golden light from Mother Earth up, 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 up with this one breath and out the top of your head. And as you exhale, you bring in the white light from above, go all the way down through those roots, and then breathing it up again, that beautiful golden light. Exhaling the white light down. And just imagine this beautiful golden and white light clearing and cleansing your physical body, your emotional body, and all of your energetic body. Allow it just to flow out into that energetic body. Breathing in the golden light. Exhaling the white light down. Setting the intention of clearing all of those bodies. Clearing out anybody's energy that's not yours. Clearing out any old energies that are not doing you any good anymore. Clearing out those old energies that are not contributing to you anymore. Good. And you may notice that after a while that white and golden light starts to twirl and twist inside of you, dance. And just enjoy that visual, that feeling. All right, good. And so you may find that you have a little tickle in the throat, or you need to yawn or exhale as that energy moves. You may feel that or hear the gurgle in your belly. That's the energy moving. Maybe a sneeze or a yawn. All of those are just energy moving. All right, breathe in out. Good. All right. So just feeling all of that just melt away now. All that old energy, stuck energy, energy that is not yours. Good. Good, good, good. All right. Now, imagine, visualize a beautiful bubble or a cocoon of light around you. And you can use that white light and that golden light that you've been using or visualizing. You can use a different color bubble. If you want pink like Glenda's, that's perfectly fine. Whatever color you want. Yeah, or even I'm hearing purple like an amethyst. But I also want you to cloak that energy. Okay, sometimes people can see those energies and they can poke at them. So we don't want that. We want to keep our energy. So just think about having that bubble, but it being cloaked around you so that nobody else can see it. And if you want to call in guides, teachers, and angels, or if you have spiritual animals that you work with, whatever your helping spirits are, you can ask them to come in, especially if you have a day that you know is going to be a little more stressful. If you have a day that you know it's going to be a little rough, or you're going to be around people. Hi, Carol. Oh, it's so good to see you. You can ask them to come in too, but ask them to cloak as well. Okay, because again, we don't want people to poke at them as either. So whatever your protection is, whatever works for you, okay, as long as you're not harming anybody else, do what feels good for you, because that's what's important. Good, good, good. And just imagine that energy, and you can call your energy in too. You can call your energy back. Was it last week maybe, or a couple of weeks ago, we did recapitulation. So where you're calling back your energy, which part of what I did was bring that old energy back to help protect me, fill up my solar plex. So as my solar plex and my confidence gets bigger, that makes it hard for other people to come in and pick, right? So whatever works, whatever visualization, whatever intentions, again, you know, prayers, intentions, spells, it's all that energy of focusing your energy. Okay? So, all right. So got your protections up as you go into your day. It's a good idea to put those up again every morning, or if you've had a day where you've been feeling a little picked at, you know, go ahead and reinforce them. Good. All right, let's connect with that heart. Remember that the heart has a bigger electromagnetic field than the brain does. Okay, so fill that bubble of yours up with all that love. surrounding yourself with love. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring those roots back into your feet. And anytime you need a little grounding, just take a couple of breaths, send those roots down into the ground. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your day. So much love and gratitude to you all. And we will see you next week.